Hey guys, so this tutorial is going to be on this makeup look. I wanted to do something incorporating greens because St. Patty's Day is coming up, so I wanted to do something a little bit more different and fun for that. So I just kind of winged this one. I didn't know what I was going to do. All I knew is that I was going to use anything with green in it, and I absolutely love how it turned out. I wasn't expecting to like a green eyeshadow as much as I do, but I love it, and I definitely will be wearing this again. So I hope you guys like it as much as I do, and if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. First, I'll be priming my eyelids with the Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC, and then setting that with a matte powder so that my eyeshadow goes on smoother. Then I'm going in with Frappe by Makeup Geek, and I'm using a Sigma E38 brush, and I'm just using that as my transition shade and just buffing that all over. Then I'm taking Cocoa Bear by Makeup Geek, and I'm using a Morphe M518 brush, and I'm just lightly putting that in my crease. So I'm starting in the outer corner and then working my way in as the product leaves my brush, and that's just going to give it a very smooth, blown out look. Then with that same brush, I'm just packing that in the outer corners. Now I'm using the Morphe 35C palette. I'm using this dark green shade, and I'm using a Morphe M507 brush to do this. So I'm just very lightly putting that in my crease, so you just have that pop of dark green in there, and it really blends in nicely with that Cocoa Bear color. And with that same palette, I'm just using this lighter shade green, and I'm just basically using this as a base on my eyelid for the next two shades that I'm going to be putting on my eyes. And this is a MAC 242 brush. Then I'm taking this shade green from the Too Faced Love palette, and I'm putting that all over my lid. And that's just a lighter shade green with more of a shimmer in it, so I thought it stood out more with that green underneath it. Then I'm just taking Cocoa Bear again and lightly blending out those edges so there's no harsh lines, and packing on a little bit more of that color in the outer corner. Now I'm taking Liberty by ColourPop, and I'm using the same MAC 242 brush, and I'm just putting that on like the balls of my eyes so it looks like it has more dimension. And then just taking Frappe, that first color we used, and blending all that out again so it's nice and blown out. Now I'm priming my face with the Makeup Forever Mattifying Primer. And the reason why I work in sections with this is because this primer does dry really fast because it is mattifying. So that's why I'm starting on my forehead and then working my way into my nose and around it. Then for foundation, I'm using Too Faced Born This Way, and this is in the shade Natural Beige. And I realize it's a little bit too dark for my skin, so I'm using the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops, and these are in the shade G20. So I'm just putting 2 drops in that, and then blending it all together and dotting that around my face. And then blending that in with a Morphe M439 brush. And the reason why I only put the foundation on the lower halves of my cheeks and then I blend that upwards is because I like to keep that area underneath the eyes with as least foundation as I can, because I do put concealer there, so I don't like it to be too heavy under there. And I'm going in with Urban Decay's Naked Skin Weightless Concealer, and I'm just putting that in a triangle shape underneath my eyes, and then I'll be blending that out with a damp beauty blender. And I'm also putting this on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, and my chin. And to set all that concealer, I'm using the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, and I'm dipping my damp beauty blender into the powder and then pressing that onto my face wherever I put concealer. I'm going to let that sit on there for at least 5 minutes. And while I let that set, I'm going to do my eyebrows. So I'm using the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, and this is in the shade Taupe, and I'm using the brush number 12 by Anastasia. So I'm just starting with one line under my brow, one line over it, and then I'll be filling that in. Now that it's been 5 minutes, you can dust off any powder that didn't soak into that concealer. And the reason why I like to do this is because your makeup does last so much longer when you do this, and your concealer will not crease or move on you all day, so I definitely think it's worth the extra time. Then to set the rest of my face, I'm using the Mineralized Skin Finish Powder by MAC, and I'm just putting that on the lower parts of my cheeks and the temples of my forehead. Now for eyeliner, I'm using the Sephora Liquid Eyeliner, and I'm just drawing one line diagonal with the arch of my brow, and then connecting that to the line across my lid, and then filling that in. For lashes, I'm using these red cherry eyelashes, and first I'm just coating my eyelashes with mascara so that my real lashes are as black as the fake ones, and these are the number 43 lashes. Then I'm smudging that green shade from the Too Faced Love palette on my lower lash line, and then I'm using this ColourPop cream gel liner, and this is in the shade Kicker, and I'm just using that to line my waterline. Now for blush, I'm using Gwen Stefani and Urban Decay's blush palette, and I'm using the shade Hush, and this brush is a Morphe M104. So I'm just putting that on the apples of my cheeks, and then for bronzer, I'm using the Makeup Forever Pro Fusion Bronze, and I believe this is in the shade 20M, and I'm just using this Kat Von D Shade and Light contour brush. So just putting that on the hollows of my cheeks, my temples, and my hairline. Now I'm using Moonstone, and this is a highlighter from Becca, and I'm using a Morphe M501 brush to this, and I did spray my brush with Fix Plus to make it just a little bit more intense. So I'm just putting that on the high points of my cheeks, my nose, my cupid's bow, underneath my arches, and then at my tear ducts. Now I'm using ColourPop's Ultra Satin Liquid Lipsticks, and this is the shade Magic Wand. And I ended up changing my mind. I wanted something a little bit more mauvey instead of nude. So I'm using another one of ColourPop's Lippy Sticks, and this is in the shade Tootsie. And that completes this look. I had a lot of fun doing this, so I really hope you guys liked it. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. And all the products and brushes that I used are going to be listed down below in the description box, so don't forget to check that out. And please let me know anything that you would like to see from me. Thanks for watching. Who's that? Who's that, huh? Who's in the camera?